Libra. Welcome to 8 of Cups Tarot. Welcome to your cards for February. February is kind of that month that I said we all had to get through before we could get to the sweeter side of 2021. And that's kind of where we're at. February is not a pleasant month. It is pretty wild, but for some Libras, it might actually be a really beautiful, wonderful month. And that's very dependent on kind of the karma that you have coming your way. I know that sounds weird. I know it, but we're working with 5th house, 8th house energy. 5th house can be beautiful energy. It could be the energy of children, the energy of joy, fun, art, recreation, sex, money, shopping. It's all about Venus this month. It's all about kind of the desire. And yet that 8th house, Uranus, Mars, is the risk. So you're going on a risk and reward system in the month of February, but you have to expect, and I think if you go at the month saying, yeah, this is really important. I really want to fulfill this dream. I really want to fulfill this desire. I really want to do this. But is it what is best for my future? I want to jump right here. I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit because I think that's what this 2 of Pentacles represents. The 2 of Pentacles is kind of that things that I want versus the things that I need to do. And the 8th house can have a lot to do with other people's resources as well. Resources in general. And I oftentimes find that 8th house represents our ability to show gratitude. So the 2nd house is the income, our money, the things that we have, the resources that we own. And if you have a good attitude, if you are grateful at all times for the things that you have, for the things that you receive, if you show appreciation for the things that you have, then typically the universe continues to give them to you. 8th house stuff, other people's money, other rewards. There's going to be a balancing in the month of February, and especially as we are going through a very intense Mercury in the retrograde motion. Mercury is currently moving back, so it's hitting these planets. And when I say these planets, there's quite a stellium built up here in your 5th house. There's a lot of energy and there's a lot of mental activity. There's going to be a lot of things saying, hey Libra, just buy this stuff. Hey Libra, let's go on this vacation. Let's do this. And I think for the most part, you going through all of the stuff that you have gone through in 2020, it's going to be pretty easy for Libra to say, yeah, but I really do deserve it. Yeah, I do deserve a break. Yeah, I do deserve a vacation. Yeah, I do deserve some new clothes. However, it's very important not to put the baby out with the bath. Very important to pay attention to your resources. 8th house can also signify losses. It could signify issues with your taxes. It could signify issues with debt, with loans, with other people's money that you're expecting. It could mean that the decisions that you make impulsively over the things that you completely desire could come back and bite you in the ass a little bit. So that's my warning to my Libras. It doesn't have to be a difficult month if you can exercise the self-discipline. You are coming out as the Queen of Air, and I can't help but, I have to notice this owl on her shoulder here. And I think for maybe some of our older Libras, you've been through these phases, you know better, you have the wisdom to overcome that desire. If not, then you could probably consider February of 2021 to be a pretty big learning curve. When I see the Queen of Air come out, either you're exercising amazing intelligence and planning for the future, or you're learning the consequences of not. Either way, in the grand scheme of things, it's a win. But either way, it may not be pleasant. When I see the Queen of Air come out and justice is in the environment, it is a certainty that the universe is setting things straight and things are getting more into balance. This is a balancing act. And when I see a 5th house, 8th house transit, we're definitely working on our gratitude. And Libra, if there's a lot of things in life that you're doing, you're participating in, you're kind of going through the flow, acting as if, and not really sure, not really emotionally invested and passionate about these things. The universe might be making some adjustments and corrections this month. When we are in a Mercury retrograde period, we're making adjustments. Now, right next to this Justice card, we have the 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords is always, to me, an indication that the universe is making you uncomfortable. Whenever I see a 5, I know there is discomfort. So I think this 5 of Swords is kind of the irritations that are going on. This could definitely be all of the retrograde Mercury stuff. This is all of that stuff. I love a 5 of Swords because it is clear he's dealing with things that are scattered. There seems to be maybe some messes that you're trying to clean up, things that you're trying to get more under control. This could be the part of you that is focusing energy this month and how to pull it all together, how to make it work. Maybe some of your focus is how to simplify processes. Now, I say that we have Virgo here as your astrology card. I'm definitely thinking that this has a lot to do with the Virgo full moon at the end of the month. But let's pull it into the 5 of Swords space because it is in that row. And it's kind of the mental activity that you go through in your life where you say, okay, is this relationship worthy of my time and energy? Is this project worthy of my time and energy? And the things that aren't are going to stick out like a sore thumb. They're going to be the things that you really just can't stand doing anymore. Maybe the universe wants to bring this up to you so that you could start to make a plan, Queen of Air, as to how to delegate the things that you no longer want to participate in. Now, great if it's work projects, great if it's personal projects, great if it's chores around the house. Maybe you're learning to simplify the grocery shopping. You're going to start to outsource that in some way. Awesome. It's not so easy if these 5 of Swords are people in our life, right? Like we can't just say, okay, well, I just don't really want to have kids this month, and I just don't really want to deal with bills or debts or something like that. This 5 of Swords is very noisy. It makes its existence very known. You know, if there is a unpaid bill, this is the debt collector that calls 88 times a day. If the 5 of Swords is a group of friends that seem to want or need a lot of your attention, maybe even a partner that seems to want or need a lot of your attention. Certainly 5th house, children. And maybe there's some Libras that are like, oh my God, I really just need a break. Maybe you've been doing the homeschool thing. Maybe you've been cooped up in close quarters with the spouse and the kids. And all of a sudden, Libra wants to kind of break through to the other side, wants to remember what life used to be, really needs to feel excitement and joy again. The 2 of Pentacles does indicate to me that there is 2 different versions or 2 different plans that are on the docket right now. Okay? One is that desire to enjoy life, to do the things, to spend the money, to live in the moment. And the other pentacle is kind of plan for the future. Let's save. I know I really want to buy those new shoes, but we're still in lockdown. I'm probably not going anywhere. Maybe I should spend the money instead. Two of Pentacles. There seems to be one leg in and one leg out. Maybe you've been aware of these issues or bad habits for a while. Maybe you've been aware of the things that haven't and aren't fitting in for a little while. And you've kind of got only one foot in the door, sort of speak. Maybe this is even a job that you no longer enjoy, that you're not really wanting to pay attention to. You see that this Two of Pentacles, although he is leaning in on one side, he is focusing his energy towards the opposite pentacle, kind of doing the opposite of what is best for his stability. Now, the Two of Pentacles can indicate that things are kind of up and down in February, meaning that one day could be really good, one day could be really bad. That's not to say, I'm not trying to scare anybody, like every day is going to be really, really bad. But, like life, some days are better than others. But the ultimate goal, the thing the Queen of Air is attempting to do, is figure out the Sun card. Now, the Sun indicates that there will be freedom. If you are in debt and you have really been focused on paying stuff down, sacrificing kind of the instant gratification in order to get things more under control, less scattered, there will be rewards headed your way. If you have been in a mode the past couple of weeks of cleaning up what 2020 represented, getting back on track, even if it's just in your energy itself, even if it is in getting back into being grateful for the things that you have, there is reward here. The Sun indicates that there is reward. There's freedom, and that's ultimately what that 8th house, Mars and Uranus, are trying to bring to you, is the liberation. Maybe some of you are staying in a relationship because you cannot figure out how to be financially independent. But you've been making a plan. You know that if you could get this much money into savings, you can afford to put a down payment on a house or pay the security deposit on an apartment, and then you could finally walk away. There seems to be an element where if you are not, you should at least be working towards some sort of a goal. And if that is the case, the Sun is in all ways indicating a positive outcome. What I don't like is this Fool card directly under this Five of Swords. Okay, so let's pretend for a second that this Five of Swords is that bill collector that calls 800 times a day. And the Fool card is you just simply turning off the ringer. And I don't think it's a really good idea right now for you to ignore any kind of warning signs. If you could see, the High Priestess comes out right underneath the Fool card, which means your plan, your goal to kind of ignore the situations, okay, I'll worry about it later, isn't going to work. And by the time we get to the end of the month, we have a full moon in your 12th house in the sign of Virgo. Again, Virgo, I analyze. And that full moon is going to bring about a lot of consequences for any of the ways in which you have self-sabotaged yourself. 12th house. The thing is, right next to this Fool card is this Knight of Wands. And I think for some of you, this Knight of Wands is you. Not to be ignored because it is in the center of the reading. I think the Knight of Wands is a version of yourself. This is a version that can be quite impulsive. There's a lot about desire here. There is a lot about the I want, I want, I want. And I think it's going to be hard for Libra to fight that feeling like they just want the things this month. And with Justice card, I have to say it will be quite simple, Five of Swords, to kind of mentally sabotage yourself by justifying the risk. Okay, so and we've all been here, right? We're breaking a bad habit. Say, all right, I'm not going to smoke anymore. Quit smoking. It's not good for my health. I don't want to spend the money on it anymore. And then there's always a circumstance of, yeah, but I'm going to go see this friend, this person, and they smoke, and we always smoke together. So I'm going to buy one more pack. And this is like the you that kind of justifies buying the one more pack. Justifies, okay, we'll put that off until tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to do this thing one more time, and then I swear it's over. And that's a slippery slope. And the thing is, this Knight of Wands is making these decisions. He's doing these things. He's being impulsive because of his complacency. Now, for some of you, Libra, this could be a partner. Maybe there is a Knight of Wands in your life. Maybe this is, and again, 8th house rules our partner's resources. And maybe you are having an issue with a partner maybe that is spinning a little bit out of control. Maybe this partner is kind of trying to fill a void, because when I see a Knight of Wands and a Four of Cups, I feel as though there is somebody trying to fill a void, to do the things, to create the excitement in life, because otherwise things seem boring. Four of Cups is always an indication that on the deepest level, there is a lack of gratitude. There is a feeling of not quite wanting to be where you are. There is something that is really heavy between these two energies here, this Knight of Wands and this Four of Cups, because I feel like this Four of Cups, this man here, is willing to do just about anything to be able to get away. Maybe this is just the overwhelming need to travel. You know, some of us have felt cooped up for so long. And here we are, we want to break free. Maybe this is a partner who's no longer wanting to work in the job that they have. Or maybe this is a partner that no longer wants to be in a relationship with you. And I know that could sound very harsh. I don't really see this as a lack of love or anything like that. I really do attribute it more to not really loving life the way it is right now and wanting to create something new. And when somebody, you or this other person, gets in this mindset, we can make a mess of things rather quickly. And I see this Five of Swords as kind of the mess. What's interesting about this reading is right next to the Fool is this card, and actually I think Virgo got this card as well. Expect powerful change, the new moon eclipse. And when I see the change coming next to the Fool, I can promise you that there will be elements in which you can no longer ignore that come up in February. There will be truth, there will be clarity, and there will be things that you are simply going to have to deal with. The High Priestess underneath the Fool, again, is things coming to the surface. Three of Swords does indicate that truth and clarity are headed your way. And I'm not so sure the news is positive. Now, again, this is not for every Libra, because I think if even if you're dealing with a partnership, If you both have kind of been on track, making a plan to clean up these messes, then again, that Sun card indicates that by all means, it will all go well. But maybe you've been working really hard to clean up those messes and your partner hasn't. And here, at the end of the month, you start to realize the real truth of the situation. Again, 8th house rules taxes. So maybe some stuff will come up in the cleanup of 2020, which is, kind of the tax stuff. When we're wrapping up the past, we're closing things out. It's not a coincidence that the 8th house rules endings. Endings and new beginnings, a transformation. And taxes are done at the beginning of a following year in a way of wrapping up and finalizing the year before. And if it is not your message, particularly to do with taxes, which would also be included in the Justice card, then there seems to be a wrapping up. And I think in the wrapping up, in the reconciliation of where we are and what is next, some things might come to the surface that maybe you weren't quite 100% aware of. Also with the High Priestess, I feel like maybe you've had an inkling, you've known there are issues here. In other words, you have seen the red flags, even though you have been ignoring them. But the thing is, Libra, this Queen of Cups directly under this Knight of Wands, 2 of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Queen of Cups, tells me that there is a soft landing. I don't think that this is going to be a lose-all situation. I don't think that there's going to be damage that can't be overcome. Queen of Cups indicates to me that it's probably time to work on some self-care. Start doing the things that you need to do to love yourself. Here's the thing. Self-love is not always bubble baths, right? Self-love is not always just scheduling enough time for yourself. Self-love is doing those motherly, maternal things for ourselves. And those also include like remembering to brush our teeth 2 or 3 times a day, keeping those really good habits, even if it is hard work. Putting that money into savings, investing in ourselves in a good way, quitting the habits, not smoking, regardless of who you're going to hang out with or why it's easier to make that decision tomorrow. When all of this energy is in Aquarius, there is hope. There is the ability to heal these things. And there is also emotional detachment. And that could serve us well, or it could cause a little bit of sabotage. And for Libras, because you are always thinking of how your energy kind of affects other people, you might be butting up with some energy that says, I don't really care, it's about me now. Knight of Wands, it's a card of Aries, it's a card that can be somewhat selfish. I don't care how it's going to affect other people, I just need to feel good right now. Queen of Cups is certainly more concerned with being compassionate and understanding. And so maybe this is you having to be a little bit more compassionate and understanding to a partner who maybe has made some financial errors. A partner that has maybe made some bad decisions. Maybe this is you having to forgive yourself for making some not so great decisions. The Queen of Air tells me that you can move on. There is forward movement. This is not setting you back. It's actually setting you up for a healthier future. All of this experience is meant to strengthen you. Last two cards out, these came out together. Sometimes they do. Sometimes it's really important to get the story of these two cards. When I see the Hierophant and I see the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, this is the universe kind of showing us where the cracks are in our foundation. It's important that you look now. We don't have a lot of time to waste in the Fool energy. If you are attempting to really go above and beyond to ignore and not deal with issues, then I think this energy can hurt a little bit harder. I think it's going to hit you a little bit harder the more you are resisting. Hierophant can be very stuck energy. It's Taurus. It's a fixed sign. And this is the big stuff that happens to break you free. It's not an easy thing. But ultimately, the experiences that you have in February is going to make you live a better life, make better decisions, plan better for the future. Again, fill in the cracks in the foundations. Make a plan. Okay, well, maybe it's time to make sure that we have enough in retirement. Maybe things are starting to look like we're probably not going to get that Social Security. Maybe things are starting to look like we're going to go through a recession of some sort, and we should probably be saving money as much as we can, saving resources. And what happens is we start to control that voice better, right? That Five of Swords and that Knight of Wands, okay, well, you have to go and achieve this. You have to go and do that. You should buy this. This is going to make you happy. And you learn to tame that. The Hierophant. You learn to make better decisions. So it's actually quite positive, the things that you experience. Now, right next to this Four of Cups is this Oracle card. Card number 27. If I could pick it up. Exchanging gifts. There is an exchange of energy, and like I said about the gratefulness, Four of Cups. Now, this might not be you, Libra. This could be, again, a partner that you're dealing with. But there's a feeling of not being grateful, and you cannot manifest from a place of not being grateful for the things that you already have. So if there's a version of yourself, or you have a partner who's really not in such a good place. Maybe they're just not happy with life. They're not happy with their job. They're not happy with their situation. There is going to be consequences for the things that they are not grateful of. And it may be affecting you because of it being such a close partner. If you are having a hard time being grateful for the things that you have, if there are areas in your life where you're kind of taking advantage, it's probably a good idea to make a quick correction. You know, it's really important, even though maybe we don't like the 45-minute commute every day, it's also really important to say, thank you that I have a car, and we have a vehicle, and I have a way to make this journey to and from every day so that I can pay my bills. You know, it really is a practice in appreciation. If you are in a relationship that's not feeling so connected, if you or your partner has been distant in some way, maybe not investing in the togetherness, it might be important to kind of make it more of a priority to spend time together. I feel like exchange of gifts is also an indication that whatever pentacle you're putting your energy on will grow. So if you're investing your energy in the negative patterns, You know, maybe you're gambling, maybe you're shopping too much. There will be consequences. And those consequences won't be so pleasant. But if you're doing the good things with your energy, if you're spending time with your family and your kids, if you're investing wisely with your money, if you're delaying that instant gratification, even if it's uncomfortable, there will be rewards. And card number 24, indicating it's time for a nap. There are things that are coming to a rest now. March, April, and May will be much more pleasant months. All of the planets will be moving forward, direct. There's not a whole lot of major planetary action going on. And I think we'll find all of us kind of in our groove again. I think the universe will start to open up. Maybe we'll get a little bit more freedom, maybe with this vaccine, maybe the ability to travel. There will be time to enjoy soon. And the more that you could rest, also indicating to me, enjoying the delaying of the instant gratification won't be so bad. You know, maybe you can't go out and see friends or go spend money or go out shopping. Maybe your energy is better used at home, resting. And maybe what you need to be saving for is, quite honestly, because there is a time or a period coming up in which your rest will be needed. So for some of you, there might be a period coming up in which maybe somebody, a partner or someone, is not able to work. Sometimes I see that with the rest. Maybe you have a partner who's going through a lot right now, mentally and physically. And you may be preparing to have to support them in some way. And so again, I urge you to take a look at the way that you're spending your money, the way that you're handling your resources, making sure that you are grateful for the things that you have, because you're looking for the cracks in the foundation and you're filling them, not ignoring them. And I think that will pay off in dividends. You'll be in a much better position to handle the things that come next. Remember that 2020 is kind of preparing us for these major changes so we could finally get in our places. It's inviting us to find more joy in our lives. And yet the uncomfortable part is kind of stepping out of our own limitations. The areas in life where we don't really allow the good stuff to come in. All right, Libra, it looks like it's going to be a fantastic month for you because of the clarity that comes through, because of the honesty and the truth. And it looks like everything that you'll need to be dealing with will be on the table and able to be corrected. And that in itself is something to be grateful for. It's much easier to fight the demons and the bad energy when you could see it clearly. All right, Libra. I will not be doing mid-month readings this month. I will be stopping shortly by, hopefully around the 17th and 18th, I'll be doing a pick-a-pile reading for Saturn-Uranus square. And as well dropping in to give you guys an update on the energy throughout the month. Like I said, it's a pretty big month. A lot of things are going to happen very quickly. Do not forget to meditate, breathe, and stay centered. It's very important. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful month. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.